Hello, my name is Diane Benson, and I am here again with you for K-12, Learning with the Library, kindergarten through 12th grade. Our goal in this series is to provide you as a parent, as a teacher, as a homeschool parent, with information that you can use on how to use the resources at the library to extend the educational experience for your child. So this month we are talking about career exploration. And this can start at such an early age. I mean, just last weekend we had Touch a Truck with kids, which gives them an opportunity to see what are not only the cool vehicles out there, but what are the jobs associated with those vehicles. In the children's department, we have so many resources that talk about different jobs and what people do for a living. But of course, this starts to weigh a little bit heavier on us as our children start getting towards that high school. And many kids will hear this question so much. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? So today we're going to give you some resources to help your student kind of explore what's out there and what is available. I do want to start with really a cautionary note, I guess you would say. Children or high school students, etc., trying to pick what they're going to do with kind of in their mind for the rest of their life when they're 16, 17, 18 can seem so overwhelming. They may not even know all the possibilities that are out there. Hopefully, we'll give you some insight into some of those different possibilities that they may not have considered. But I guess the thing that I really want to say is it's okay if they change their mind. It's okay if one week they want to be an astronaut and the next week they want to be a teacher. In fact, nearly 3/4 of incoming freshmen in college changed their college major. The majority of the students going to college changed their majors 3 times. A large portion of the American population will have several jobs throughout their lifetime. Myself, I worked in human resource management and consulting. I was an instructor of psychology at Pellissippi. I was a team leader for an academic counseling group at an educational company, and now I'm here at the library. Those are all changes through the years, but you can see that there's a thread that runs through them that is consistent with who I am as a person and what I value. And those are some things that we're going to talk about today too. So I just want to say, as you start delving into some of this, particularly with your high school students, try to take off some of the pressure for them. It is okay to change their mind. And in so many ways, it is difficult for us to even envision 30 years from now, 20 years from now, what the job world is going to look like. So the most important thing that you can teach your student is a love for learning. Because whatever they're doing, if they can read and they love learning new things, they're going to be good. As we begin this process of career exploration, one of the most important things that you can do is learn about yourself. What are your gifts? What are your talents? And how can you turn those into something that you can make money for one day? Or what kind of jobs do they most align with? So sometimes it takes a little work. Sometimes it's hard for students to realize really what their gifts are and what they are good at. So let's tackle some of that work here. And since we're doing work, we're gonna dress for the occasion. Got my hard hat on and got my tool belt. Because what I am giving you today is different tools that you can use in the pursuit of career exploration. All right, well, the cool thing about a tool belt, besides tool belts are kind of cool, is that you have tools in them. And a lot of these tools are something that I might need today, but some of these tools may stay in this tool belt for a week or a month, but when I need it, it's there. So what I'm hoping to do today is give you some of these tools for your tool belt, and they may be something that you use right away, or they may be something that kind of comes up later on and you want to dig in a different way. So let's look at some books. A lot of parents may remember What Color is Your Parachute, that goes through different values, different types of personality, different types of environments that you tend to thrive on, and helps you come up with some ideas about some career options for you. So a great tool to be aware of. There is also an option of what color is your parachute for teens. This is also available at the library. So a lot of good books to help with that. I just wanted to show you a few, and then we'll get into the Peterson career prep. Best jobs for your personality. I found throughout life that is really important. There are some things that are just consistent with who you are, and they're easier for you, and you tend to do better if that's the case. The Pathfinder, how to find, or for maybe even for the parents, how to change careers. So there are quite a few books. The Career Within You, 150 Best Jobs for Your Skills, and there's more here at the library available. So if you prefer kind of a hands-on book approach, we've got books for you on how to determine what might be a good fit for you career-wise. And then once you decide, there are a lot of books here about different types of careers and what it's like to be a firefighter on a daily basis, etc. So those resources are available here at the library also. So let's head on over to the computer. Per usual, we're going to start at the library webpage. So here we are at the Blount County Public Library webpage. I'm going to go to Learning, and then I am going to come down here and scroll down to the Tennessee Electronic Library, because that's where we're going to get a lot of really cool information relative to career assessments. And what we're going to do is we are going to use the career tools right here. And in today's presentation, I'm mostly focusing on career exploration. But I tell you, for those of you who may be looking for jobs, there's resume tools on here, information about how to answer different interview type questions. So there's a lot of good information here. But like I said, today we are going to start with career prep. So let me go ahead and click on that. Click on Use This Resource. And then I'm going to come on down here to Find a Career. All right. Start here. As you go and use this, you'll probably want to save your results. So let me go ahead and just log in. So I'm going to click on Find a Career. I'm going to find my calling in life, start my journey. And so we're going to begin with the assessment. We're going to give you an opportunity to help your child measure themselves, to kind of think about what do they want in a job. Now, this can be hard as a young adult, as a teenager, because sometimes we haven't had enough experience yet to know what types of environments we thrive on and which type of environments we don't. So once again, that's why people change as we get older. We learn those things about ourselves through experiences. And that's the hard part. A lot of high schoolers just haven't had that experience, much experience yet. So what you'll do is you will open this up as a part of a job I would like to, and it gives you a list of items, and you're just going to click on, dislike or like. I'm just going to click on some of these real quickly. These are not indicative of my own true feelings. All right, so you answer those questions. Be honest, try not to think about money as you're going through these, only what you are really truly interested in. And then you'll get a list kind of your personality, realistic. Looks like the highest one here, and these are not my true answers, was investigative and conventional, probably after that, realistic, those type. So if you scroll down, it's going to tell you what those different things mean, and it is going to let you kind of see what kind of careers might be a good fit for you. Over here, we've got reflection questions for you to answer. You might want to have your student write these down. You might even want to have them talk to other people and ask, what do you think I'm good at? Or when do you think I'm at my best? So those are some things that might be helpful as well. There are other assessments to take that have to do with what you value. Once again, let me just slip through here with some of these. All right, So after I take that assessment, then I have an idea of what my interests are, and then again, what I value. And according to this one, achievement is going to be very important, and working conditions. It's important to me where I spend my days. Again, reflection questions over here, and then you can explore career matches. All right. And what this does is it will tell you different categories of jobs and how strong a match these are based on the assessments that you've done. So it's kind of like we've done the measurements, we've done the assessments, and now if we're building a house, we would be using a blueprint to kind of design now what we're very, very interested in. So let's see, let's pick something that, what's one of our very strongs here? It looks like we have some very strong in the arts, media, and communication. So we could click on that. And then it tells you information about these different careers. So for example, and it tells you what type of match these are. So art director, very strong match there. So let's go ahead and click on that. Once you click on that, you can get the average salary, which can be important. You can also click and see locally what's the average salary locally for the particular job. So this is one thing that you will want to consider. Do you want to stay local? I mean, does your child see themselves staying local? Are they just like that traveler and want to experience the world, and they may go anywhere in the world, just wherever the money's best and the job is most exciting? But they have to know who they are. So that's something to kind of think about when you're looking at that. Average salary, usually in Tennessee, it's not as high quite as it is nationwide. The average job lookout, this is important too. Is this a job that's phasing out? You know, if you want to be a typewriter repair person, probably not a good job outlook for that, okay? But you can click on that too and see how that stands near you. This again is for art directors, and we can see in Tennessee, it's below average. But if you look at New York, it's above average, California, above average, etc. So you can kind of see where might be the places that you need to go. We have education, and then you can even search for available jobs in this area. There is information about what you would do, what the job would look like. And then there also comes a career video also that you can have your student watch. So this is a lot of fun stuff to play with, to kind of think about what does this entail? And really with career exploration, that's a big thing, is imagine yourself in those roles, and how do you see that as a fit? And important again to be honest with yourself. Like if you want to be in your own bed every night, you might want to consider that also before you become a traveling salesperson, etc. So this gives you a great way to go through these jobs. If you find some that you're interested in, you can add it to your favorites, where you can come back here and research further. All right, as you're researching and learning about careers, there's one other cool thing that is on here through Learning, and this is one of our streaming services. I've shared these in the past, but there's just some particular ones that are really useful here on Kanopy. So let me go down to Kanopy here. And it's a free video streaming service with your library card. So this will pull up, and let me scroll down here. It's a good place to watch a lot of movies, but I am just going to go to browse today. So I'm not going to actually sign in and watch anything. And I'm going to search, and the series that you might find helpful is called Tell Me How Career Series. So I will search for that, give that a second to come up. And then there's all of these careers, park ranger, marine biologist, zookeeper, travel agent, astronomer, nurse, aerobics instructor. And you're going to get a lot of fun information from people who actually do those jobs. So I want to encourage you to go into Kanopy and take a look at those as well. All right, so now we've got some ideas about who you are, what you like, what you value. It's time to kind of start, making a plan, using a blueprint. So So let's talk about what some of the next steps might be if you're doing a career exploration, half credit or unit study or session with your student. So once the student does the assessments, as I showed you on the Tennessee Electronic Library, there's a lot of information on there about what the careers are, what they pay, how many jobs are going to be with them in the future. So I would suggest that your students start picking out some of those that sound interesting to them, reviewing the list of knowledge and skills and requirements for those jobs, including education. You know, if they wanted to be a surgeon, are they prepared to go to school as long as it takes to be a surgeon? Or would they rather take a different route, maybe be a surgical tech and not spend as much time in school? The education required, is there anything that they could do now in high school to even explore that further? To learn more of those skills and see if it's a good fit? Are there any summer programs at, like UT Knoxville, lots of times will have some programs during the summer that are really, really useful and very informative in certain different careers. The second thing that I would encourage you to have your student do would be to pick then one or two of those and see if they can get in touch with somebody who is actually doing that job. Okay, so sometimes you can do a job shadow where a person will let you come follow them around for the day. Of course, you know that doesn't work as well in jobs that where there's a lot of confidentiality issues. If you can't get permission to job shadow, maybe you can do what's called an information interview, and that would be where you just call them and ask if they have time to talk to you about what they do for a living, and then you go prepared with questions. So there's a lot of resources online about questions that you can ask. Some of my kind of standbys, or the ones that are most frequent, is like, what do you like best about your job? What do you not enjoy about your job? Can you tell me about the best day ever you've had at work? Can you tell me about the hardest day ever that you've had at work? Is this job what you expected it to be? You know, why or why not? If you could go back and do it all again, would you pick this job again? If somebody came into this job, what are some things that you think it would be important for them to know before choosing this job? What would it take for someone to succeed in this type of position? So the idea is to go in and have kind of some basic questions, but then not be afraid to kind of jump off. You know, if they say something and you find it fascinating, you could say, tell me more about that, or what happened next? So a job shadow or the information interview is going to be very important. I think it's kind of fun if you have a small group of students maybe that you're doing this with, is to have them then do a presentation. It can either be a talk, maybe a poster board, and have them share with the class what they learned about the jobs that they picked out. So then the student not only benefits from their own research, they're going to benefit from other students as well. It's really cool. We have the Kelly room, the teen room here at the library, and if someone was interested in doing that with a small group of students, you could contact the children's library and see if you could arrange a time to use the Kelly room to meet with the students, to discuss those things, and to have them do their presentations. So I hope this gives you some ideas for career exploration with your students. Again, I just want to stress that it's nothing to stress about. It's just, it's a beginning the process of imagining what they want their life to be like after high school, after graduation, what they value, what's important. So it is just a first step. So hope you all got some good information here. I can go ahead and I guess take off this hard hat and take off this tool belt and join us again next month when we will be focusing on arts, graphic novels, etc. for K-12. Thank you so much. Let's get started. I'm going to become equipped first. Ow.